Welcome. Pet Sematary was released in 2019 and was directed by Kevin Kolsch and Dennis Widmyer. It stars Jason Clarke and is about Dr. Lewis Creed and his family moving from Boston to Maine. And some weird occurrences start happening once they discover the Pet Sematary in their backyard. So I really like the concept behind Pet Sematary. I have both of the movies, the original 1989 one. I think it was in 1989, or it might be 1991. You could fact check that, Tina. I think it's 89. But I have that one on Steelbook because the Steelbook looks fantastic for it. And I like the movie. Then we came out with the 2019 one. And I was so excited when this movie was going to come out. I thought it looked pretty good. And I just love the story behind Pet Sematary. So I was so ready for this film. Unfortunately, it is not good. It is not a good movie. Yeah, it's not a good movie. Let's just start talking about it. In terms of pros I have with it, the second act is very good. The first act is very, very boring and is not good. Then we get to the second act and it feels like a whole new movie started. And it was so much fun, this second act. And then we get to the third act and it is not good again. Just consistency. We needed consistency between all of the acts because if they followed everything they did right in the second act, this movie would be so much better. Unfortunately, they don't. And I want to say when the second act begins, but I think as an audience member, you'll kind of know when it happens because it's a huge spoiler if I spoil when the second act begins. But second act, very good. First act, really boring and not good. Third act, just not good. In terms of other pros that I have with this movie, our children performances are very good. Ellie is fantastic. She was definitely my favorite performance of this movie. She just eats up the role that she's in, and so much enjoyment was to be had by her performance. It just stinks that it gets overshadowed by how kind of stinky this movie is. And also Gage's performance is very good. He doesn't have very much to do, but Gage was good. I liked him. He was good. We're gonna move to cons now though, and kind of speaking on those character performances, going to the parents, their performances aren't that great, but I don't think it's because their acting isn't good. I think Jason Clarke is a pretty good actor. I think that the writing really let them down. There wasn't much for them to do. They had a lot of weird lines that even though they were good actors, it still came off kind of strange. So, yeah, Dr. Lewis Creed as a character, pretty cool. In film, not as cool. Very boring. They wrote him to be very boring, which was very frustrating and upsetting. And like I said before, the first act of this movie is very, very boring, and it's hard to get really into it. They have an event to try to drag you into it, but unfortunately that event only lasts like a minute. And then it's just boring for like a whole 40 minutes. And it really bogs down this movie, and that stunk. And the ending is not good. I do not like the ending at all. The alternate ending, on the other hand, makes the movie a lot better. But the ending they decided, not good. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a 4.5 out of 10. And I don't recommend it. I'd rather recommend the original, although I wouldn't say the original is strides better than this movie, but it is definitely the better of the two movies. So thank you everyone for watching this review, and be on the lookout for the next review that's going to be on the channel, which is going to be I Am Legend. That's going to be coming out on Tuesday, but let's flash forward to the next review.